Hello once again, audience. Fletch here, bringing you another Fletch Talks live stream. We're talking all things Chelsea. We've got some Chelsea stuff to talk about today. They are potentially closing in on that Chelsea might be on the verge of signing in the form of Jorrel Hato and Xavi Simons. We're, of course, talking about Liverpool and offering Ibrahima Konate a new deal. It seems that they are on the verge of potentially offering Ibrahima Konate a new deal there that he may be actually on the verge of accepting. Maybe we can put this Real Madrid talk to rest when it comes to Ibrahima Konate. But more on that a little later. We may also touch on the Morgan Gibbs-White situation to Tottenham, or is he going to be staying at Nottingham Forest? We may talk about that a little later as well if we have time. But the big breaking news today, the big breaking news today, ladies and gentlemen, comes from Newcastle and this Alexander Isak situation. He apparently wants out of Newcastle. He allegedly, reportedly, wants out of Newcastle. After weeks of being told by Newcastle fans that this had no way, shape or form of happening. And I sat here on these very streams in many a video and I said that Liverpool would not be interested in Alexander Isak. They would not have gone club to club with Newcastle. They would not have gone to the lengths that they have done in this situation if they didn't feel like Alexander Isak was going to have an inkling of leaving Newcastle. I sat here on these very streams and I said exactly that. And Newcastle fans laughed. He's not going anywhere. It's impossible. This is not going to happen. Never in your wildest dreams is this going to happen. And even though he may still not go to Liverpool, I still said there is a strong possibility he leaves Newcastle this summer. And look at the situation now. It's been reported today that Alexander Isak is considering his options going forward this summer transfer window. We're going to be talking more about that. We're going to be kicking things off with that a little later on. But before we get into all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the chat as my bro Ales is in the building already. I hope you're doing well, my friend. He simply just says, hi, mate. Hi yourself, bro. I hope you are doing very, very well on this Thursday afternoon. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're all good. Great to see you in the stream, my friend. Really, really good to see you. So, Isak, I'm not going to lie to you. This has piqued my interest because the Liverpool story simply will not go away. Liverpool are still said to be interested. And according to Fabrizio Romano, as we'll get onto a little later, Liverpool could still be considering a monumental move for the Swedish striker. The news broke today from... where are we at? This one. The news broke today, as we'll see here, from there we go. We eventually got there. The news broke today from Craig Hope of the Daily Mail. He says that exclusive. Alexander Isak tells Newcastle he wants to explore move away from the club. Remember, gang, It wasn't so long ago. We were being told by Newcastle fans that this had a 0% chance of essentially happening. This was not going to be happening. Newcastle were not going to sell for any price. And yet, here we are. Like I said, Craig Hope delivered that bombshell in recent hours. Fabrizio Romano, as we will put onto the screen in a little moment. Has said this. He understands that Alexander Isak remains a top target of Liverpool even after signing Ekitike, but depends on Newcastle. If Newcastle open door to an exit and Liverpool sell Diaz, they can bid after direct contact made 10 days ago. Isak not in concrete talks with Al Hilal as things stand so far. And it's very interesting, all of this, because like I say, Liverpool are still interested, but it's not a foregone conclusion. It's not also a foregone conclusion that he leaves, by the way. As much as I am calling out certain Newcastle fans for claiming that Alexander Isak had absolutely 0% chance of going anywhere this summer, he still could go, of course. He still could go, of course. He still could leave, but he also could still stay. Newcastle don't have to sell. They obviously have his contract down. They could let him rot for all they care, but I think that they would be stupid to do so, considering he could fetch a very, very handsome fee. Even if he may now want to leave, it will still be a big fee, especially for Newcastle, where they can, as I've said all summer, get that fee and use it to distribute across the entirety of the squad or majority of the squad in order to reinforce and strengthen in certain positions. Big up LFC fan who's in the chat. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Lovely to see you here, my bro. I hope you're doing well. Alex says, realistically, where else would he go? And this is the thing. Liverpool have got a massive opportunity right now. If they are really on board with Alexander Isak, if they are really wishing to push the boat out on an Alexander Isak, Liverpool have a monumental opportunity to get him, because as Alice said, where is he going to go realistically? If he's not going to stay at Newcastle, where is he going to go? Arsenal have just brought in Victor Gyökeres. Very unlikely they are going to bring in both Gyökeres and Isak. Man City have got Erling Haaland. It's very unlikely they're going to go for another top striker to compete with that. Real Madrid, again, very unlikely that they're going to be in for him, even though he is a fantastic and brilliant player. Barcelona don't have the financial package, at least this year, to make this a viable option, in my opinion, unless they can. I mean, I know Spanish teams by somehow, some way manage to get around these financial issues, but I think that this one may be a stretch too far even for them. Realistically, the only top club out there right now that he can go to, be a starting striker, is Liverpool. He's not going to topple Kane at Bayern. PSG don't really play with a striker. Even though Liverpool have just signed Ekitike, the only team that he goes to and definitely improves on the striking option in this starting 11 is Liverpool. That is the only realistic option for him, in my opinion. And this goes hand in hand with what we've been hearing these past several days. You know, he's not going on the pre-season tour. He's injured. Eddie Howe, whenever he's constantly spoke about this Isak situation, sounds more and more unsure about it by the day. It's massive for Newcastle. It's massive for Isak, and of course, it's massive potentially for Liverpool. And a big part of this, as Romano says, could be down to player sales, and in particular, Luis Diaz. Now, the Rodrigo situation is still very much up in the air. And of course, this could also mean there's a knock-on effect that could be good for Arsenal fans as well, because Arsenal could be looking at this situation as, well, Liverpool may have to choose between Isak and Rodrigo. And I feel like in that situation, Isak may just win out for them. And if that's the case, then that could obviously, like I say, be beneficial to Arsenal if they decide to go all in on Rodrigo. They could let Liverpool have a free run at Isak, but then they get their man in Rodrigo. I highly doubt, and I know I've said this a fair amount for Liverpool this summer, but I highly doubt that Liverpool will go after both. Liverpool will get both Isak and Rodrigo. I highly, highly doubt that. Stranger things have happened. And like I say, player sales could obviously tilt the scales back in Liverpool's favour on that particular scenario happening. But it does seem unlikely. It's likely going to be probably one or the other as far as what I'm concerned. And this news today probably tipped the scales back in the favour of Isak rather than Rodrigo. But it's still massive. And it still could be massive, like I say, for an Arsenal or for a team that is chasing Rodrigo. The Isak situation has just taken a monumental turn in this scenario. I'm very much intrigued to get the thoughts and comments and opinions of you guys. Do you see Alexander Isak leaving Newcastle this summer? He says he's considering his options. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to definitely leave, but it is likely. And like I said, all summer long, it seems as though this has been in the making for a while. As I mentioned before, Liverpool would not have made club-to-club approach with Newcastle if they didn't have an inkling or a belief that Isak was considering his options. So Newcastle fans, what are you saying right now? Let me know what you think about this situation in the chat. Would love to hear from you all. Like I say, I don't know. This is a massive opportunity for Liverpool, a massive opportunity for Liverpool to get another massive deal over the line. And if that is to be the case, then that's it. In my opinion, that's it. The league is done and dusted as far as what I'm concerned. If Isak is to get over the line for Liverpool, like I say, I don't know where Isak would go now. I don't know where he'd go. And if anybody says Man United, by the way, I'll laugh at you. I will genuinely laugh at you if anyone says United. Because, yeah, United are after a striker. But why would Isak leave Champions League Newcastle for Man United, where it's a massive, massive gamble that they may not even be back to their best? They may not even get back to their best. They might crash and burn again. It's a massive gamble, United, and I don't think it's one that he would like to take, he would want to take. For me, like I say, barring any sort of incredible bid from a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, this is Liverpool's deal seemingly for the taking. This is seemingly Liverpool's bid for the taking. I'm very much intrigued to see what unfolds next from a Liverpool standpoint. I'm hoping that we do something on this. I think it's too good of an opportunity to pass up. Of course, now that Isak wants out, seemingly, that could obviously force Newcastle's hand a little bit. Like I said before, though, it might still be a bit difficult. He does still have 3 years left on his contract. Newcastle could obviously keep him still and refuse to let him go. But then it's a question of, do you really want to keep an unhappy player? Do you really want to miss out on the opportunity of selling him for big money? Whereas, next year he might be even more unhappy, might kick up more of a fuss, might want out of the club still, and may not fetch as big a price as what he would this year. There's a lot of layers to this story. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that are going into the story that do intrigue me. And I'm very much interested to find out what is next for this saga, for this situation. Because, like I say, I'm excited by this. My excitement level is growing, shall I say. I'm intrigued as a footballing fan to see what next unfolds in this situation. But I'm very much gathering my excitement in terms of, obviously, the prospect of Liverpool Football Club potentially maneuvering in on this situation. And then it's a question of, where would Newcastle go? Because Newcastle have seemingly moved on from Ekitike to Yohan Wissa as a backup option for Isak. But he's not going to be first choice. Well, he probably shouldn't be first choice for a Newcastle side that are planning on, remaining a permanent fixture in the Champions League by obtaining top 4, top 5 every year. Maybe even venturing onwards to maybe challenging for the Premier League one day with their riches and everything. So where would Newcastle go? Because all of a sudden, Liverpool are in the driving seat. Liverpool are potentially in the driving seat in this situation. And it wasn't so long ago that Newcastle fans were out there and they were singing and laughing and being joyous and jubilant over the fact that, maybe, just maybe, Isak and Ekitike were lining up on the same team, or at least on the same team sheet. All of a sudden, things have now seemingly flipped a little bit, and it could be the opposite way around, and Liverpool could be lining up on a team sheet with both Isak and Ekitike. And then, like I say, where would Newcastle turn from there? They missed out on their top target. They're potentially going to be losing their talisman. I'm intrigued by this. I am very, very much intrigued by this. Absolute bombshell dropped by Craig Hope of the Daily Mail, as confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling in the chat, people. Would love to gauge the thoughts, comments, and opinions of you guys on this Alexander Isak situation. Is he going to be leaving Newcastle? Is he going to be moving to Liverpool? Or will he stay at Newcastle for at least 1 more year? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about that situation. Big up Jordan Hyman is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Go and subscribe to Jordan's channel. Doing some incredible stuff over there. Plenty of watch-alongs and things of that nature to keep you entertained. Please do show your love and support to that man. He's doing some great stuff over on his YouTube channel. Speaking of Luis Diaz, Christian Falks just put out a tweet saying that Bayern Munich optimistic of signing Luis Diaz after agent negotiate deal. I think that will get done. The reports are suggesting that Bayern are going to come back with an improved offer for Diaz that could be somewhere in the region of 80 million euros. Now, of course, the intriguing part about that is that if Liverpool do get somewhere in that region, I think that it will be accepted, because that would then pretty much cover the fee of Hugo Ekitike, which means that before that Ekitike deal, moving on a couple of weeks, Ekitike comes in, Diaz goes out, we're back to square one, people, which means we've still got that 120 million that we were originally going to be spending on Alexander Isak initially when we made that club-to-club approach. Is still going to be there at the very least. Now, we may need to still put a little bit more money on top of that, but it's looking good. It's looking strong. It's looking like Liverpool could be about to pull off an absolute madness in this transfer window. And that could still be on top of other players as well. Let's not forget, there's the Mark Gay situation, which is going on in the background. There is, of course, talk that Ibrahima Konate could be on the verge of signing a new deal. And let's face it, with all of this talk about different players and the exciting players that Liverpool are going for, the ambition that is being shown, why wouldn't you want to be signing with Liverpool? It's looking really good right now. It's looking very exciting and very interesting to be a part of this Liverpool setup going forward. Big up to Luca Talks Dons, who's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Lovely to have you here, my friend. Guys, go and subscribe to this guy's channel. Doing some excellent stuff over on his YouTube channel. He's NK Dons and also Arsenal, but there is definitely something for everybody. So if you're looking to expand your footballing knowledge, or you were an Arsenal fan or an NK Dons fan, maybe they're in the building as well. Go over to Luca Talks Dons, doing some excellent stuff on his channel. He says that Isak going to Liverpool. I really hope you're right, my friend. I really, really do hope you're right. This would be one insane transfer window for Liverpool, one that we've been crying out for and hoping for a number of years. I can't actually believe what may actually transpire this transfer window when you look at it collectively as a whole. It is it's exciting stuff. It is very much exciting stuff. Chin is in the building. I hope you're doing well, my friend. He says, would Isak want to move to Saudi? I think Newcastle would probably want him to move to Saudi over Liverpool, considering what we've done to them this summer. I don't know. It depends, obviously, about the money situation. I don't think he'd want to move to Saudi, in all honesty. I think he would want to remain in at least Europe. I think a top league in Europe. And that's why I say, like, the top two that come to mind in this situation are Liverpool and Barcelona. I don't think Barcelona have the funds, but Liverpool do right now, at least. In a year's time, it could be a completely different story. Who knows? But this is a massive opportunity for Liverpool. The only thing I can think of with the Saudi links, and it's very interesting that obviously the Saudi links come out straight after Liverpool bought Ekitike. But my instant reaction was, and this could just be, you know, a story of convenience yet again, but Newcastle's owners are Saudi. Their top player is linked with a Saudi club. I don't know if there's anything to that, or whether I'm just putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5. I don't know. But that was my first instinct when I heard about the Saudi links to Isak. I don't think he'd want to go. I think he'd want to stay in Europe. I think he'd want to compete for the major honours. I think that he'd want to play Champions League football. I think he'd want to obviously try and win a top domestic league around Europe. And like I say, I think he's got a very good opportunity of doing that. Should, of course, he leave Newcastle. Lucas says that meanwhile you sell Núñez for 50-60 and Diaz for 60. Again, that's the hope. That's the hope. If we get the 80 million euros we're seemingly holding out for Luis Diaz, that covers a large portion of the Ekitike money. And plus, you've got to remember as well, installments. Installments as well is going to be huge in terms of what we've already paid, the installments and structures of certain deals that we've already made this summer for the likes of, you know, your Kirkezes, your Frimpongs, your, like I say, your Wirtzes. The installments is going to be big as well. So we can get some big money for these players that we want to get rid of in terms of like Núñez and Diaz, and maybe Harvey Elliott goes as well. And, you know, maybe one or two other players, Federico Chiesa's seemingly out the door as well. All of that can add up. All of that can really, really, really add up. Also, I'm just throwing this out there as well. If Isak really does want out, and we go and get him, or at least we put in a strong bid or case to go and get him, Newcastle are going to be wanting at least one striker. Newcastle, I'm just throwing this out there. We have a striker that we don't really want. Maybe we could come to some sort of arrangement as a money plus player exchange for Isak, maybe. We get Isak, you get Darwin Núñez. Just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. Just saying. Just saying. Big up, Kinsman. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Lovely to have you with us on this Thursday afternoon. I hope you're doing well, my friend. He says, do you think Liverpool would be an unstoppable force if they have Isak? I mean, nothing's ever a foregone conclusion. Let's just throw that out there. Nothing is ever definitive. Nothing is ever certain. However, if we were to get Isak, I would make us Premier League champions. I would say that we are going back-to-back, definitely, for next season. I'm just throwing that out there straight away. Now, in other competitions, of course, one-off games here and there, that can be a kind of different story. But we would still be strong favourites. You'd obviously throw PSG in there for the Champions League. You never want to kind of rule out Chelsea, even if that may sound ridiculous. We know that they've won it when they're not technically supposed to have won it, I guess, in a lot of people's eyes. So don't rule them out. Arsenal with Gyökeres is going to be a different beast, in my opinion. Manchester City, you can never rule out Pep Guardiola. Real Madrid are Real Madrid. Barcelona, you know, got to the semi-finals this year and in one of the most exciting and bizarre semi-finals I've ever witnessed. Came very close to obviously getting through to the final. So never rule out any of these teams. Never take anything for granted. But we would be one hell of a force with Isak in our ranks. And like I say, I think we would go back-to-back next season. I think that we would go and get number 21 in terms of league titles. And I think we would be strong contenders for a lot of other trophies as well. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Champions League, because I think we also would then have a very, very good backup team in terms of, you know, Mamadashvili is our second choice goalkeeper for next season. Connor Bradley, backup right back. Robertson, backup left back. Even though he was made vice captain, so that's something to keep your eye on as well. He was made vice captain today, reportedly. So maybe Robertson is not exactly going to be second choice then, maybe going forward. Who knows? Or maybe it kind of be like Robertson starts the season as left back and then we kind of bleed Kirkez in. I'm not sure. It's going to be very interesting to see how that one works out. I think the centre-back options that Liverpool do need, obviously looking at Gomez when fit, third choice as of right now. If we bring in Guehi, that could mean that he's either going to be behind Konate and Van Dijk if Konate signs a new deal. If he doesn't sign a new deal, he's obviously going to be backup playing alongside Gomez in our second choice 11. You've got Jones. You've got Harvey Elliott for right now. You've obviously got Inyone who's coming through. Soboslai. Yeah. It's just a madness. It's just a madness right now. It's so good. It's just so good right now, and so exciting, the prospect of what kind of squad Liverpool have right now and what we could have by the end of this transfer window. It really is exciting, and it's really about time. It's about time we started having these kinds of conversations and we started doing this kind of thing. It just really, really is. It just really, really is. Like I said, we've gone through a lot of pain as Liverpool fans in terms of, transfer windows of missed opportunities and transfer windows of, not exactly pushing the boat out as much as what we should, and us saying that we're a big team but never really backing it up in these types of situations. And finally, we are seemingly there. And whether we get Isak or not, it's still been an absolutely exciting and incredible transfer window in itself. Isak, though, would be the cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake. And I, for one, am here for it. Splashed, hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome along to the channel. Welcome along to the live stream. He says that he's going to Liverpool probably, but the problem is we are going to have to find a new backup for Gakpo. We could also play with two strikers and Wirtz as a left mid, which we know he can play. I mean, we do have cover there. It's not exactly cover that I would say is very much long-term cover, but it is still cover there nonetheless. Like you say, Florian Wirtz can play left wing. Dominic Szoboszlai for Hungary plays on the left wing. Ekitike could play left wing. There are various options that we can use for that left wing position going forward. One that I am curious, though, Rio Ngamoa. Now, I know he's very, very young. I understand he's very, very young. But as a bit of a wild card option, I want to see more of him next season. I want to see more of him on that left wing for Liverpool. And you know what? If we don't get a left winger, again, it'll be unfortunate. Again, it won't be... it will be like, it could have been like the perfect window, but it would be like kind of ungrateful to say that. But at the same time, it still would be something that we should look for. But we do have kind of cover there. It's just going to be obviously interesting to see how we do when Salah goes to AFCON on the other side of things. Who's going to play there? Is it going to be Jeremy Frimpong, for example, or do we have someone else that can play on that side? That's going to be interesting to find out. Like I say, left wing, though, we do have kind of cover, I guess you could say. So it's not entirely like we are lacking in that area, but it still would be nice for us to go out there and get a left winger. Again, there's a lot of money being splashed around here. A lot of money that is being splashed around here. And I'm just enjoying it for while it lasts. And I'm enjoying, reveling in the salt and the tears of rival fans that are crying about Liverpool spending. It's absolutely brilliant to me. Northern Accent, welcome on to the channel. Hope you're doing well, my friend. He simply says Ekitike can play left. Absolutely. I don't think he's completely viable on that left-hand side. I don't think it's a massive long-term solution on that left-hand side. And I think, obviously, he would play better through the centre. But I do agree. He can play on that left-hand side. He is accomplished there at the very least. Jordan says he's happy that Hugo's joined us. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing him develop over time. Ballum, welcome along to the chat, my bro. Hope you're doing well today, my friend. Says that well done on 869 subs. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And thank you to each and every single one of those 869 people that has subscribed and followed. Like I say, that's always 869 more than I originally anticipated when I started this. I really honestly cannot thank you guys enough. Your guys' support is absolutely unbelievable. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep following this journey that we're on. Really, really do appreciate it from every single one of you. He says that Rio is only 17, this reserve player. I get that, bro. I get he's 17, but Ethan Nwaneri is 17, or at least he was 17 when he broke through. Miles Lewis Skelly was 18. He broke through. Players can do it. Age. In this kind of scenario, if you're good enough regardless of your age. And like I say, I know it's only training, so people will probably go, well, it's only training, it's not the real... In training and in pre-season, he looks terrifying. He looks terrifying in terms of, you know, what he can do with his technical ability, what he can do with his speed, his pace, his trickery, all of that kind of stuff. He looks scary. I want to see more of him going forward. And like I say, if Nwaneri can break through at Arsenal at 17, if Miles Lewis Skelly can break through at 17, 18, there's no reason why Engamoa can't at Liverpool. He'll have a good support system around him. He'll have obviously the likes of Wirtz and Salah and Isak if he comes in to back him up. I don't see why we won't be able to trust him to do something for us, even as a part-time player in the first team. Glad you're good, bro. Glad you're good. Nice to have you along with us on this Thursday afternoon. Federico and Darwin is for sale. Federico is leaving for Serie A. Yeah, he's going back home, it seems. It seems that he's going to be going back to Italy, back to obviously where he made a big name for himself. It's unfortunate it didn't work out. It begs the question why we did buy him, in all honesty. Was this just a marketable opportunity that we saw that, you know, maybe didn't quite work out to the best of our ability? But even then, there's still talk that we could actually sell him for about 15 million. So we would have made a little bit of a profit on him. Not a lot, but if we were to get that kind of money, it's still a little bit of a profit. And for 1 year, you know, £10 million, and obviously him becoming a Premier League champion. Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt that in a sense it might have worked out. Not that he contributed a great deal to our Premier League campaign, but it's still something. It's still something at the end of the day. I'm just someone. Welcome along, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you along with us on this Thursday afternoon. Says, we need the Isak deal to go through because it will spur on the likes of Gahey to join in the project. I think, as I've said before, I think we're just waiting on Crystal Palace on the Gahey front, my dude. I think we're just waiting on Crystal Palace to bring in a replacement for him. And then I think that will spur things along there. But I'm not too worried about the Gay thing. I think that will happen. As I've said, for most of the summer, there's been nothing to suggest that it won't happen other than Liverpool turning their attention elsewhere. But again, that's another good opportunity for Liverpool. It is a very good opportunity for Liverpool to get their hands on a very good player for the here and now, as well as for a few years down the line. Someone that can maybe take the place of maybe a Virgil van Dijk in a couple of years when he hits 26, 27, gets into his prime, and can really take that leadership role from there. I think that could be a very big opportunity for not just him, but for Liverpool as well. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Balam says Chelsea are spending as well. Xavi Simons. Yeah, that was gonna be the main bulk of this video actually before the Alexander Isak news dropped. So it'll be a nice little segue into that. Chelsea are on the verge of completing a double swoop for two big Dutch players, Xavi Simons and Jorrel Hato. Now, Hato, what we know is that obviously he's been attracting a lot of interest from various clubs this summer. There were the likes of Arsenal, there was the likes of Liverpool that were interested, but they were seemingly put off one way or another by either not being completely convinced by Hato or by his price tag. His price tag was seemingly put up very high and too high for the likes of them to really follow through on. It could still be a possibility that maybe one of them swoops in if they still hold interest, but it does seem like Chelsea are in the driving seat and are in pole position to make this signing official. It seems that personal terms are already agreed between the defender and the club, so it doesn't seem like there's a problem there. And then it's about agreeing a fee with Ajax. Now, there does seem to be some... there does seem to be a lot of talk, negotiations, and progress that are being made between Chelsea and Ajax right now. I would probably say that this probably gets done by the end of the week. If Chelsea are moving fast on this will probably get done by either the end of this week or the beginning of next. One way or another, Chelsea, I believe, will get that deal done. As far as what Xavi Simons is concerned, look, this is a player that I've not entirely been convinced of myself. I remember when Liverpool were linked with him, I said that I'm not entirely convinced by that potential move. Xavi Simons is a player that in the attacking third seems to be a bit of a jack of all trades but master of none, in which he can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play through the centre, but he's not really world class or perfect in those positions. He's just a guy that can fill in those positions. He's versatile enough. He's got good technical ability. He's got good skill. He's got something about him that makes you kind of get off your seat and be excited about watching him. But at the same time, I think it's maybe a little bit of consistency. Maybe a little bit of consistency. That's the problem with him. But it is a very intriguing saga nonetheless to obviously watch unfold. And Chelsea are on the verge of making two big signings there. I am intrigued. Is anyone fearful of Chelsea this season? Does anyone think that they could maybe be a bit of a dark horse in this Premier League title race? Because, they are moving a lot this summer. There has been a lot of money being spent. There's been a lot of transfers in and out of the club. A lot of turnover in terms of squad personnel. I'm intrigued by Chelsea. I don't think they're there yet. I don't think that they are all there to completely challenge for the Premier League title just yet. I think they need a bit more experience in their ranks. And I think as well, they may need this season to adapt to playing 2 big games a week in terms of Champions League and Premier League. I know they played 2 games last season, but let's face it, they could have easily walked that Europa Conference League with their B and C team. So I'm not really putting too much stock in that particular competition and the way that they play 2 games a week there. But I do actually think that Chelsea need to be kept an eye on, because as much as I think Chelsea could have a horror show of a season, I also think they could also have an incredible season in which they may just surprise a few. In saying that, I'm going on as an early prediction so far. I'm going on them still maintaining 4th place. I think there will be a cut above the rest from 5th downwards, but I think they'll just be a little bit off the top 3 in terms of Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. So I think they'll get a safe and secure 4th spot, but that's not to say that they could definitely do a madness. That is definitely not to say that they could do a madness. It could be very intriguing to watch Chelsea this season, and like I say, especially with the players that they're buying, Simmons and Hato seemingly coming through. We shall see. Big money signing Hugo is a done deal. Absolutely. Welcome, Hugo. I hope he does very, very well at Liverpool. No link today, my friend. No link today. It's just going to be me today. But tomorrow we may be back with more content, and that will probably be a call-in show. But appreciate you coming in, Jordan. Really do appreciate it, my friend. Could England women win Euros on Sunday? Why can't men's team win a trophy like the Nations League? Isn't it the semi-final? When's the semi-final? England women national team. Oh, it's the final on Sunday. I thought it was a semi-final Sunday. Ah, okay. I thought it was. I got it wrong. I thought it was the semi-final. I thought the semi-final was next up. I didn't realize they'd. I thought the Italy game was the quarterfinal. That's my bad. I don't really follow women's football that intensely, so I couldn't honestly say whether or not Spain are dangerous or not. All I know is that it seems that England have been pushing their luck a little bit, and you can't really go deep into tournament games like extra time constantly, going through the ordeal of a penalty shootout and come out smelling of roses towards the end of it intensely. So they might face a bit of an uphill battle, but you know what? Good luck to them. Really, really good luck to them. I really do hope that they do win it. It'll be great for them. It'll be great for the country, of course. Yeah. Good luck to the England women's national team on Sunday. What time's the game on, by the way? What time is the game on Sunday? Let me have a look. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock on Sunday for the England women's national team taking on Spain in the European Championship final. Good luck to the Lionesses. Big up Heath Robson. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Nice to have you along with us. It says that Arnie Stott says, hi, you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone indeed, my bro. You'll never walk alone indeed. Take care, Feds. What is the hammering we are hearing? I have to go talk to him. Next door are doing some construction. No idea what. It's been going on for a few days. Don't know what's going on, but I do apologize for the noise. But yes, thanks for coming along, bro. Take care of yourself, and I hope you are doing well. Anytime, bro. Anytime yourself, my dude. Anytime yourself. Like I say, guys, go and check out Jordan Hyman's YouTube channel, doing some excellent stuff over there. The semi-final finish. Yes, yeah. I got my games mixed up. That's my bad. We talked Isak. We've talked Xavi Simons and Jorrel Hato. We talked a bit about Chelsea. According to Sasha Tavalieri, Alexander Isak's priority is to join Liverpool this summer. He has made it clear in talks with Al Hilal. So it does seem as though Isak's made up his mind. He has rejected Saudi and he's all in on Liverpool. Now the question is, are Liverpool all in on Alexander Isak? With obviously us just signing Hugo Ekitike, and of course the financial situation that we are currently in. Do we have enough right now? Do we need to shift on some players before we make this official? Is this a saga that's going to be going deep into the transfer window? Or is this something that we can get done and dusted very, very quickly with things moving on? Exciting times ahead for Liverpool. Hugo with the boys already. Yeah, absolutely love it. I love it. The team bonding and everything. I absolutely love it. It's something that I'm liking right now. They seem to have a big camaraderie together. There seems to be a massive sort of togetherness within the squad, a unity within this. I'm loving it right now. I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing right now. I'm loving what I'm seeing from pre-season. I'm loving the little highlight reels we're getting, the little bits from the likes of Wirtz and Kirkes, and especially. It's exciting times, man. It's exciting times, and I'm enjoying and just reveling in every single second of it because, as we know, it's not always been like this. It's not always been like this, and there's no guarantee that these kind of things will happen again. So enjoy it whilst we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I will say on that. Speaking of Liverpool, Ibrahima Konate, the saga rumbles on. According to certain reports, Liverpool are set to offer a new and improved deal to Mr. Konate in what could be a big move for Liverpool. It's an improved deal, improved wages, improved improved salary. And this could be enough to sway him away from Manchester City. From Real Madrid. I don't know why I said Manchester City. From Real Madrid. This could be enough for him to reject a proposal from Real Madrid at least this summer to maybe stay at Liverpool. Now, I'm a little bit surprised by this. I thought that once Real Madrid come knocking, that's it. There's no going back. But it does seem as though there is a strong possibility that Konate could be on the verge of signing a new deal with Liverpool. And this could be that deal. This could be big for Liverpool. We've made some big signings already this summer. We could be making some more big signings as the summer wears on. But this one could be big. This one could be big. And the reason it could be big is because obviously it means that we don't necessarily need to go out and get two centre-backs for the future. We could just get the one. And I still think we'd obviously need to go out and get Mark Gahey. because we just need to reinforce our centre-back options anyway. And there's no guarantee that obviously Joe Gomez is going to be completely fit for the season. So we would still need to go out and get a Mark Gahey, for example. But this will be big because then we wouldn't be needing more in that area for the next season, the season after, and so on and so on. It would also mean that we don't play this entire game of will he sign a new deal? Will he not sign a new deal throughout the entirety of the season? It means that obviously we won't get the typical sort of, the kind of press and the kind of questions and everything that we got from the likes of the mainstream media about Mohamed Salah, about Trent Alexander-Arnold, and about obviously Virgil van Dijk all season. We won't get all of that kind of stuff of, well, he could be leaving on a free. Will he? Won't he? Real Madrid are sniffing around, all of that stuff. We could put this saga to rest. It should never have got this far, but we could finally put this saga to rest. Fingers crossed that we do, one way, shape or form. I like Konate, but I've always said, if a player's not fully committed to staying at Liverpool, then he shouldn't be at the club. That's been my stance all along. If he is committed, if he feels like he's being treated correctly, treated in a respectful way, and obviously everything matches his availability and his work ethic to the club, by all means go for it. And if this is obviously going to make him commit and obviously make him improve and go on to be the Konate that is an absolute beast of a centre-back, I have no issues whatsoever with this. Very happy if Konate does sign. If he doesn't want to sign, if he wants to go to Real Madrid still, fair enough. There's not really a lot we can do about it. We've tried to show him what this club is going to be doing going forward. We've shown a lot of ambition this summer already. There could be more to come. Entirely up to him. Entirely up to him. But I really do hope we keep Konate. Be a big save for us. And a big move for Konate as well. Be a big move for Konate as well to be part of this incredibly exciting growing team. Strong Goat JC, what a name, says, who cared? I don't know what you mean by that, but thanks for the contribution, my friend. Welcome along. Jordan says, yes, he's a Liverpool fan. Liverpool fan, LFC fan says, do you think if we get Isak, Nunez will leave? I think Nunez was going to leave regardless. I think whether we got him or not, whether we get him or not, and whatever happens to our striker situation going forward, I think Nunez was always going to leave in one way, shape or form. The only downside is that obviously Napoli have pulled out the race. So unless there's going to be another club that enters, it's going to be interesting to see what the future of Darwin Núñez looks like. Now, there could be Saudi Arabia links still out there somewhere. I mentioned earlier, a certain Newcastle may be now looking for a striker. I'm intrigued. I'm very much intrigued by this. I'm very much interested to see what is going to be going on with Núñez going forward. Like I say, it seems like that Napoli have pulled out the race. There could be Saudi Arabia links still. There could be other links from across Europe. There was another Italian club whose name escapes me. I can't remember who it was that was said to be interested. I think there was another Serie A club that was said to be interested. I think it was, I want to say it may have been AC Milan. But I'm not 100% certain. But I did read there was links to a Serie A club for Darwin Núñez going forward. So there could be some interesting times ahead for Darwin Núñez. We'll see obviously how that goes. What we need more than ever is a centre back, to be honest. If Konate stays, it helps. But I do agree, we definitely do need a centre back. Like I say, I think the Gay situation is just taking its time because I think that Palace are wanting I think Palace are wanting to get him a replacement. So I think that deal is being held up because of Palace, not because of Liverpool, but because of Crystal Palace. But I think that I'm pretty confident that will go through. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever. But I am pretty confident that will go through. It's just going to take its time, I think, going forward. Ibu will probably sign. I hope you're right. We need to. I like to obviously build an incredible squad, and he's an incredible player. So, yeah. Tweet from Ben Jacobs. He's actually had a pretty decent summer, I'd say, Ben Jacobs, to be fair. I didn't really rate him at first, but yeah, he seems to have got a fair amount right so far. He says that Liverpool have informed Newcastle they are prepared to break the British transfer record to sign Alexander Isak this summer. That is all that this quote is being said. It doesn't say whether or not it depends on player sales or things of that nature. But it is looking very exciting, very intriguing for Liverpool Football Club. If everything is to be believed, this could be a madness that Liverpool are about to perform. This could be an absolute madness. And I am here for it. I am here for this. This is a big, big opportunity. Massive opportunity. Like I say, this opportunity is too good of an opportunity to pass up for Liverpool, in my opinion. Too good of an opportunity. Mate, did you see Costa Tattoo about Diogo? Don't mind the spelling. Lovely tribute, if that is the case, if that is what I'm thinking of. I don't think I've seen it. Or have I? Has it just blanked my memory? I don't remember if I've seen it or not. And I don't think I've seen it, to be fair. I don't think I've seen that, to be fair. I have seen it, and I've completely blanked it from my memory. I'm not 100% sure. From what I've seen, it seems like Joe gonna stay. It seems that way. And you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world, because if we can keep him fit, his versatility would really do wonders for us. And obviously him chipping in every now and again with a performance, and covering for right back, covering at left back, covering at centre back, even CDM at times, whatever. Gomez is going to be a very good backup player to have for us. I hope he does stay to an extent. I really do, but I also think that for the evolution of his career, I think he may need to leave. A bit like Kelleher at Liverpool. Like, for him to obviously be the number one choice goalkeeper and to further his career, he needed to leave. And I think he chose a very good club to go to. And I think Gomez may need to do the same as well. The only problem with Joe is his injury record doesn't exactly make for great reading. That's the only issue with Joe Gomez. Other than that, if he had an injury-free career, he'd be an absolute beast right now. And on his day, he is an absolute beast. But his injury record goes against him. It unfortunately goes against him. And if it wasn't for that, I'm sure he'd be a top defender that a lot of teams will be interested in. If Saudi comes in for Nunez with 70 million, we'll let him go. Yeah, we've probably had a bad missed opportunity by not letting him go in January for 90 million euros. If we had that, it would have been great. It would have been very nice. It could be a bit of a missed opportunity. The worst case scenario, I think, on Nunez is that we arrange a loan move for him to go somewhere. And it's like they give us like 10 million or something, and then we get like an optional fee or an obligatory fee at the end of the season for like 50 or 40 million pounds or something. I think that's probably like the worst case scenario for Nunez is a loan with an option or obligation to buy. Either way, I think we've seen the last of him in a Liverpool shirt, in all honesty. I'm here for it as well. Absolutely, my bro. Absolutely, my bro. A fully fit Joe is unstoppable. I agree. From what I have seen, it seems like every player at Liverpool can play different positions, to be honest. That's why versatility is massive. Versatility in the modern day game is massive to have. Like I say, we've got a lot of players that can cover in different areas. Maybe not necessarily good long-term solutions. I wouldn't want to see, say, a Soboslai, for example, left wing constantly. I wouldn't want to see Joe Gomez as our left back for however many games. But we've got some decent options in decent areas, and we've got a lot of players that can obviously morph into those positions. And it makes for great versatility. Great flexibility. We can change formation depending on the situation at hand. We can obviously keep opposition guessing. The fluidity of our players interchanging in different positions. Our forward line especially could be very exciting to watch next season. You could have Wirtz drifting out to the left. You could have whoever we got on the left cutting into the middle. Salah could be up top. Ekitike could be floating around in different positions. Wirtz could find himself in the false 9 position. Gakpo could be playing up top. The versatility and fluidity of our team is looking very entertaining right now. And it's going to be something that I think is going to keep a lot of opposition fans opposition teams on their toes. So I'm very intrigued by all of that. Luca back in the building. He says that Nunez for 50, Diaz for 60. What happens with Elliott? Well, there was a report from Ornstein earlier on in the window that if we get a buyback option in his contract, he could leave for 40 million. But if the opposition team that we sell him to doesn't want that buyback option, we could sell him for 50. So anywhere between 40 and 50 is seemingly the price for Elliott. If we can get those kind of figures that you're talking about, plus the 50 for Elliott, plus maybe the 15 for Chiesa that we're seemingly pushing for, that's massive. And that pretty much covers, like I said, that pretty much covers a large number. It will cover a large portion of the signings of Ekitike and potentially Isak, or at least a big portion of it at the very least. So yeah, like I say, it's very intriguing what we could do. And if we do get those kind of numbers as well, to say that we've spent a lot of money with the player sales and things, and obviously our achievements on the pitch as well. So a lot of money for obviously coming top in the league phase of the Champions League. Winning the league as well. That was obviously big money for a large number of those things. When you add that to player sales, to everything else that we do, our new sponsorship with Adidas, it all adds up. It all adds up. So it all makes sense as to why we are finally going, you know what? We can splash the cash. We can properly splash the cash. I'm loving it. Mate, have you ever been to? Yes, several times. Not for a match. Conveniently, they've never played a match when I've been, but I've been around a few stadium tours in the years I've been alive. I should really go soon. I really should go soon. I've not been for a few years, but I really should go soon. But yeah, hopefully one day I also get to go to a match as well. That would be great. It's just travel, money, and obviously getting a ticket. That's the problem, and I'm very poor. But maybe one day, who knows? Maybe one day I'll get that dream of going to an actual match of Liverpool. Isak to Chelsea. Who says no? Big up Juju's in the building. Probably Isak, in all honesty. Probably Isak who says no. No. Again, your owners are that crazy and that bonkers that maybe you could actually pull it off, but it seems as though Isak has his heart set on Liverpool, and after signing Liam Delap, after signing João Pedro, why would you want to go and get another striker? Just saying. Federico didn't travel with the squad because he needed to spend time with his wife. There's plenty of talk that he's not in the plans for this season as well. So it could be that. Could be a bit of column A and a bit of column B. But it does seem likely that Federico Chiesa will not be a part of Liverpool's plans for this season. Isak himself. Yeah, we're on the same. We're thinking along the same wavelength there, my friend. We both said the same thing. I like it. But yeah, I'm intrigued by this. Ben Jacobs also said about Luis Diaz. He says Bayern are set to make a new bid for Luis Diaz worth around 75 million euros. Their first bid of 67.5 million euros was rejected. So it does look like we're pushing them up to that 75 to 80 million euro fee for Luis Diaz, which I think would probably be accepted considering what we've just done with Ekitike. So I think that now that obviously Isak seemingly made himself available, I think that with obviously us signing Ekitike, I think a large portion of that deal for Luis Diaz would obviously go towards covering the Ekitike fee, which means we will still have the kind of Isak money that we were willing to spend before Ekitike came in, still in our possession, still there to be used. And I think that is probably going to be that on the Luis Diaz situation. I'll be very surprised if we don't accept that kind of bid in that kind of region. Big up Chelsea Godfather. Hope you're doing okay, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Welcome along to the channel and welcome along to the chat. He says, I say no on Isak to Chelsea. The dice has been rolled. I think maybe if you hadn't have gone all out early on the likes of maybe a Delap and João Pedro, maybe you could have been in the race yourself for him right now. But I think the ship has kind of sailed on that one a little bit. David Owens in Romano. Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs has just said that, I think. On the Diaz thing or on something else. I'm not really sure. But I'm just saying what is being reported on. I'm just saying what's being reported on. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm excited for this, man. This is what I've been wanting so much as a Liverpool fan. I've been wanting this for so much, so long. I'm excited. Even if we don't get Isak, it's still been an incredible transfer window. Like I say, Isak could be the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake, and I would be excited by that. Guys, like I said, feel free to hit the like button if you're in the building. Subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and probably greatly appreciated. Really do appreciate each and every single one of you being here on this Thursday afternoon, talking Alexander Isak wanting to leave Newcastle. We've talked a bit about Chelsea and the Xavi Simons and Jorrel Hato links. We've talked about Ibrahima Konate as well, and a potential new deal on the cards at Liverpool this summer. Feel free, like I say, to get your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, in the chat about any of those stories or any stories that you guys want to talk about as well that's been going off in the world of football. Feel free to get involved in the chat. Would love to hear from each and every single one of you. Just checking to see if anything else has broken. It's just looking good. I like the look of it. It's just so good. The options that we could have, the formation changes, the different scenarios, the different settings and things that we could put on this team. This is what we've been crying out for and wanting for so long, and we could be on the verge of finally getting it. And not only that as well, but like I say, rival fans' tears are going to be so tasty to drink. The salt, the tears, everything. It's beautiful. We could have a summer in which we spend over 400 million and barely even blink on any PSR or FFP charges because we've been ran so safely for a number of years. Too safe sometimes, maybe you could say. But it's potentially led to this. I just wish I had seen then and known then what could be on the cards for the future. Also, can I just ask the Liverpool fans that are in the chat? Can I also ask this? When did Indy Callier become a reliable source on Twitter? Can I just ask that of you people? Like, when did he become a regular source? Like, every time that I've seen him in the past, he just talked absolute waffle. All of a sudden, he's having an unbelievable summer in which he actually knows some stuff, or at least he's getting some stuff right. Can someone tell me when he became somewhat more reliable? I don't remember this ever happening. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe we came into a lottery win or something. I don't know. I just want to see what a certain Luke Edwards, if he said anything about this. Luke Edwards is a journalist for The Telegraph who specialises mainly in the north and mainly for Newcastle. He has reposted the Alexander Isak has told Newcastle he wants to explore a move away from Newcastle this summer from a Telegraph article by Mike McGrath. He has then followed that up with a tweet that says that Newcastle United position remains the same. They continue to insist today that Alexander Isak is not for sale and he will not be leaving this summer, but they potentially have an unhappy player on their hands. Will take all Eddie Howe's power to get his head right before the start of the season. Now, if anyone doesn't know, Luke Edwards has basically been saying all summer long that there is no way Isak leaves, or he's been saying that there is no chance that Newcastle sell him, things like that, highly unlikely, and he seems to be having a bit of a nightmare, as do a lot of Newcastle fans right now. They all seem to be hiding online. They all seem to be hiding online right now. I can't really see many Newcastle fans that are online on social media and Twitter /X specifically. That's it. Someone's just pointed out as well that Benjamin Sesko could be a target of Newcastle. It seems that RB Leipzig have slashed their price on Sesko, so Newcastle could potentially be looking at that as an option to maybe replace Isak with a completely different striker to Isak, by the way. So that could be interesting. Where are we at? Arsenal are the champions of Singapore. Fantastic. At least they've won something. VVD4, hope you're doing well, my bro. Nice to have you along with us. It says, imagine Ekatike and Isak. It would be over. Absolutely. I 100% agree. We're winning everything, says LFC fan. It asked me if I'm a Newcastle fan. No, I am a Liverpool fan through and through, my dude. I am a Liverpool fan who is excited about the prospect of seeing Alexander Isak in a Liverpool shirt next season. I'm a Liverpool fan, my dude. But thank you for coming along with us on this Thursday afternoon. I hope you're doing well. Oh, this is good. This is good, isn't it? I like it. Like I say, there's not a lot of Newcastle fans that are seeing me online today, and I wonder why. After weeks of saying that they were going to get Isak and Ekatike, after saying for weeks that Isak was never, ever, 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 ever going to consider leaving Newcastle. He didn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave. The news today has seemingly confirmed what I've suspected for a while, that he has an inkling of leaving the club. Not definitive, not certain, but an inkling that maybe, just maybe, his future in football belongs elsewhere. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. Feels so good, man. I say, even if we don't get him, it's still been an exciting summer, and I'm sure that we're going to get at least a couple more players this summer as well. Gahey for one, maybe a left winger as well. If we don't get Isak, it's great. And just imagine as well. Let's just throw this out there as well. Isak, Ekatike coming in ahead of Kirkes, Frimpong, Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz, Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah. Not all at the same time, obviously, but that's 7 creative outlets right off the bat that these two are going to feed off. 7 creative outlets that those two are going to feed off. Ekatike is going to learn so much from Isak. Isak is going to be protected in terms of, obviously, we know a little bit about his injury record and his injury history. We're going to be playing a lot of games. Ekatike is going to come in and be baby Isak. He's going to be baby Isak, and in a couple of years' time, he's basically going to be a more polished version of himself. He's going to be a more filed down version, a smoother version of himself, and it's going to look glorious. Going to look glorious. Queen of Heart, welcome along. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I am a Magpie supporter, but using Isak as an excuse doesn't wash, not anymore. It's interesting. I want to know, what do you think about the future of Newcastle then? I'm intrigued. Where do you see Newcastle going if, obviously, they decide to cash in on Isak now rather than keep a seemingly unhappy player? Where do you think you'll go from this point? It seems like Johan Visser is still on your radar. Is that the area you want to go, or do you think you need to aim higher? Let me know what you think. Sorry, mate, I will join you back. Got to do something quickly. No problem, mate. No problem. Like I say, I appreciate you taking the time to obviously join us as it is. So you do you, my friend. Like I say, can't thank you enough for being here. Really do appreciate it. I think if we get Isak, there is a no-go for Rodrigo, in my opinion. I agree. I think it's one or the other. I think it's either it is seemingly either one or the other. It's like Rodrigo or it's going to be Isak. I don't think it's going to be both. Could you imagine, though, if it was? Oh, could you imagine if we got both? Oh, it's never going to happen, but we're out here playing like Football Manager and FIFA career mode and stuff. Like, that would be insane. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think it's going to be one or the other. But if we did get both, my God, could you imagine? You said we're getting him. Who knows? The future is bright. Isak has got his places. However, he ain't the only person who we have that makes us a squad. Absolutely. Like, you can't... You can never, ever focus on one player per squad. Like, that's just... The only reason why people do for Newcastle is because he's the main goal scorer. That's the only reason why. But your midfield is one of the best in the Premier League. I would probably say maybe behind Chelsea's and maybe now Liverpool's. You've got one of the best midfields in the league. I think City's is unproven. Arsenal's is a bit hit and miss. I'd say you've got one of the best midfields outside of Liverpool and Chelsea. Your defence is solid enough. I still think it can be further improved and reinforced upon. And your attack, Elanga's decent. Anthony Gordon's quality. Harvey Barnes is a good backup / competition to have. You're just going to be missing that goal scorer. But you take the money that you get from Isak, you can easily distribute that across the squad, further strengthen it, further reinforce it. It's definitely something. It's definitely something that I've said all season long that should be worth considering. And I think this could be like your Coutinho sale. We needed to sell Coutinho in order to bring in the likes of Van Dijk and Alisson. And when we did, we went up to that level. And this could be a big sacrifice for the short term, but the long term of it might be more beneficial if you use that money correctly. If you use that money correctly, it could be, for long-term benefit of Newcastle, very, very good in terms of you securing your place as a permanent member of the top 4 / top 5, breaking into Europe and Champions League consistently, and maybe then building a solid platform to then go, right, that's that stage done. In a couple of years, 3-4 years time, if we keep this progression, we could be challenging Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Liverpool for the kind of higher places, should we say. But there is a long way to go, I do agree. We need a director of football, as that is lacking. Yeah, the infrastructure of, obviously, since it was that guy that went to Man United. Who's the guy? Man United spent ages trying to get that guy from your lot. I can't remember his frigging name now. Spent ages trying to get him. Spent 20 million, and I think he lasted about 6 months, and then they sacked him. The infrastructure at Newcastle, though, has been a little shaky, it seems, from the outside looking in. Does need to be a bit more, again, reinforced. Ashworth, that was it. Ashworth. Yeah, you're right, 100%. Yeah, that was bizarre. That was a bizarre situation, even from United standards. Man United, that is. That was very, very bizarre, to say the least. Gnomes know him well. He's big on the gnome scene. Fairs. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. I want that to be true, but it's probably not. I'm gonna be on Paul Joyce watch. Let's put it that way, guys. I'm gonna be on Paul Joyce watch for the foreseeable future. Just waiting for that tweet to hit like a rush of adrenaline. That's gonna be big. Just waiting for it. Paul Joyce watch, ladies and gentlemen. Fabrizio watch. Ornstein watch. We're all locked in. We're all locked in on this. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. There's no guarantee it will, but hopefully it does. We shall see. Either way, we're going all in on this. We are going all in on this, hopefully. And hopefully this only does get bigger and better. Where did we get up to? Gordon duty. Wouldn't mind taking Anthony Gordon off you as well. That was the reason Ashworth left Gordon duty. I don't even remember what the situation was. I think I talked about it in a video that I did, but I don't even remember what the situation completely was, in all honesty. My memory's fried and it's, needs a bit of jogging. I don't even remember what the situation was. All I remember is that United spent a long time trying to get Dan Ashworth. They eventually got him for like 20 million in compensation or something like that. And then 6 months later, they sacked him because he made some poor choices. 30 million. 30 million to United. Damn. Dan Ashworth came out smelling of roses in that one. Damn. So nothing right now. Like I say, we are awaiting. We are awaiting any sort of bigger update, any sort of more movement on this. But yeah, the big breaking news is that Alexander Isak has seemingly said that he wants to consider his options going forward at Newcastle United. He spoke different to Man United fans when he arrived, but left in a different scent. We all know now. Fair enough. Like I say, it was definitely a situation. Definitely a situation. Yeah, something that you may just need to look at a bit more. Director of football. I don't know how the club want to progress going forward. I don't know if that's a thing that you're looking to do, or whether you're looking for something different, something else, or maybe the right person just hasn't come along for the job. I don't know what the situation is right now. TBR Football, by the way, is reporting that Eberechi Eze has informed friends that he is going to be joining Arsenal this summer. So, again, take it with a pinch of salt. Who knows what's going to happen, but we do know that Eze has been obviously heavily speculated upon. Lots of different places seemingly interested in taking Eze off Crystal Palace's hands. We know he's got a release clause. That could be definitely one to look for as well. But the big story today is Alexander Isak has seemingly turned around to Newcastle and said that he wants to leave the club, or is at least considering his options to leave. And this has put Liverpool Football Club on the highest of high, the reddest of red alerts. I'm interested. I'm excited. Stick with this, people. This is definitely going to be one to look forward to and to watch out for as the summer progresses. Well, we're going to call it there, my friends. Thank you to each and every single one of you who participated today, whether you liked the video, whether you subscribed, or whether you took part in the chat as this live stream went along. I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate the living hell out of every single one of you. You guys are absolutely awesome. I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't already, please do consider liking the video on the way out and subscribing if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in what will now be the comment section, whether it's about anything that we talked about today on repeat, or whether it's about anything you want to talk about for future live streams and things of that nature. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling, your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. We'll make for great and interesting reading down in the comments. Otherwise, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, all of that good stuff. And I will see and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll speak to you all again very, very soon. Peace.